Hi everybody, it's Mr. XStitch here, the kingpin of contemporary embroidery, back with another one of my world famous BossTube videos in which I talk about what I'm doing in my business, what I'm thinking about, what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So if you're only interested in stitchy goodness, maybe this isn't the video for you, but if you want to learn what I'm learning as I learn what I learn, then stick around because it's going to be great. Let's get our boss on. So it's been a pretty lively couple of weeks here at XStitch HQ. I received the new shipment of the 4th issue of the magazine. I think I'd say that with confidence, wouldn't you? The green issue up here, very happy to have that back out. So far, apparently only 2 unforced errors. For those of you who are enjoying the magazine, I spelt Michelle Bendy. I love you, Michelle. I'm sorry I spelled your surname wrong. Thanks for letting me know and letting me know that everyone does it, which assuages my guilt. And then also the mysterious stitch designer Tea House Sashiko in the magazine at the end in the bio section got auto-corrected to Treehouse Sashiko, what you're supposed to do. Anyway, but I felt quite like the magazine this time, it came together. It's funny, the issue 3, the space issue, I kind of like dithered a bit and it ended up taking 4 months to produce, but I'd said to my printers that I had a deliberate printing schedule. So with this one I only had 2 months to turn it around, and in a way the pressure forced me to get my shit together. So I did, and I produced it, and actually I feel pretty at ease about it and stuff. It's a pretty nice collection. It's a really relaxing issue, so if you haven't already bought a copy of the magazine, there's a link in the show notes. You can probably click up there and I'll put a thing up so that you can get it, because you should get a copy of it. It's great. It's great. Why are you watching this video if you haven't already subscribed to XStitch Magazine? It is the best cross-stitch magazine in the world. It is the best cross-stitching magazine in the world as well. Like, it just is. End of story. But yeah, so got the magazine, brought it home. It arrived here on the Tuesday, and by the Friday I'd managed to send out all the copies to all the subscribers in all the places. Now, any of you who've been tuned into what's been going on may have been aware that FedEx, bless them, lost a load of my magazines the last time we shipped out. What happens is, thanks to amazing people like my friends the Moos in Australia and Rianne Batch in Canada and McKenna, God bless you McKenna, in America, I'm now able to send large volumes of the magazines to specific people and then they can post them internally, which is just a load of weight off rather than me casting them asunder. When I first did the magazine, right, the printing company said we've got this fulfillment option and we can put the magazines in bags and we can send them out for you, and I thought that was fantastic, you know, just get them printed, pay a bit extra, low cost postage solution, sent everywhere. Turns out it was an absolute nightmare. For whatever reason, and I still don't really understand it, a magazine that would go to Guernsey, which is located just off the coast of England, would somehow go via Europe and would take 2 months to get there. Whereas I could literally drive, get on a ferry and hand deliver something to Guernsey in about a day. It was just really bewildering, and it was really like super stressful that the first issue of the magazine, when it was printed, got sent out and I just had no control. I didn't know where the magazines were. So many people didn't get them for like 3 months, which is utterly ridiculous. But thanks to that kind of learning experience, I learned to bring the postage in-house, and over time I've become more sophisticated. You know, I've learned how to pay for my own postage and print all that kind of stuff out. And now, thanks to my international friends, I've been able to bulk ship magazines to places, which is, each time I do it, it gets a bit easier. Now, the last time I did it, in an efficiency drive, I used a website called Parcel Broker, and what I ended up with was 3 shipments of parcels with 3 different companies going to 3 different countries. So I had, you know, UPS was taking my stuff to Australia, and FedEx were taking my stuff to America, and DHL were taking my stuff to Canada, something like that. And when on the day when they came to collect the parcels, all on the same day, the wrong people took the wrong parcels. And so by the end of that week, I'd finally got all the parcels with the right companies going to the right places. But I made a grievous error with the American ones, which is I just used the boxes that the printers had sent the magazines in, and those boxes are flimsy AF. So they kind of all fell apart, and you know, after wondering where some of the magazines had turned up, like I sent 5 boxes to America, 3 of them arrived with McKenna, 2 of them didn't, And then when I phoned FedEx, one box had arrived but it was empty and the other box was a bit of a hit and miss. And I still don't know where those magazines are, and FedEx are, like, quite frankly, I'm really disappointed in them, because not only have they not followed up with me, I think some of the magazines got sent out, but they haven't got back in touch with me to tell me what's going on. They're supposed to give me compensation for this kind of loss, and so I've ended up out of pocket. Because as well, I've had to like resend out magazines to people who haven't received them. But, you know, thankfully I was able to send a lot of them with this next shipment. But so much learning, and just when you think you've got to grips with something like international shipping, things get all thrown about again, and you just, you know, you're back to square one. So this time, UPS, got quite a lot of faith in UPS, so I sent all my boxes out with them, and I'm pleased to report that the boxes made it. The boxes to America, a lot thicker this time, put boxes inside boxes and stuff, and although they'd taken a bit of a battering, they all made it there in one piece, all the magazines, so I'm actually quite relieved about that. So hopefully, if you're watching this video, it shouldn't be too long now. It shouldn't be too long till you get them in Australia and Canada and America and stuff. And I'm dead chuffed with that, and it'll be great to hear what you think about the magazine. But yeah, it was kind of a big deal for me getting the things on Tuesday and then doing a mail merge, tidying up all the addresses, printing out all the postage, packaging everything. There's nothing like spending an entire evening stuffing envelopes. Doing covering letters this time, because I managed to do that. All these little touches and things that each time I do it, it gets a little bit more efficient. But I was, yeah, really chuffed to be able to get the magazine out on Friday, and that's been great. The other thing that happened that was really kind of exciting as far as the magazine's concerned is that this week, today's date is the 13th of June, this week the magazine is actually on sale in Hobbycraft in the UK, which is kind of a big deal for me. I've had a good relationship with Hobbycraft for quite a few years, getting to know the people. It's a big company, they've got 91 stores in the UK, but they're quite a small company. And so I got to know them quite well through meeting them at craft fairs and stuff like that. And when they found out that I was doing a magazine, they were quite keen to take it on board. But it's taken quite a long time to be able to get to that point where I was able to send the magazines to their distributor and get them out into the stores. Now, there's 3 copies of each magazine that have gone to each store, so I've managed to get rid of the best part of 300 copies. And what's great is I've been able to send out issue number 1 to them. So got a little bit more space in my garage now. But yeah, if you're watching this and you've got a Hobbycraft nearby, go and buy copies of the magazine, because they are limited edition, and when those magazines are gone, they're gone, you know. But I kind of want Hobbycraft to see that this magazine sells out like hotcakes, because it's so different to the other mags out there. And it'll be great, and each time each quarter rolls around, I'll be able to send them more and more magazines, and hopefully we'll be able to get on with that. And just, I've got a goal, I've set myself a goal. I want 10,000 subscribers by 2019, and I chuckle to myself when I'm saying that, but that's what I want. I want 10,000 YouTube subscribers, and I want 10,000 magazine subscribers. Don't think it's unreasonable to expect that, so Hobbycraft's an important step for me. I'd also had a conversation as well with the distributor who can get me into Barnes & Noble in the States, but for that I would have needed an extra 2,500 copies. And that was just a bit too mind-blowing at the time to be able to sort out. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. So if you've got a Hobbycraft near you, or if you know anybody who's near a Hobbycraft, tell them to go and get the magazine while they can, because I want that to sell out real fast, so Hobbycraft come back to me and go, oh, I'm afraid we're going to need more issues next time, and I can go, well, that's fine and dandy, thank you very much indeed. But yeah, it's cool to be able to level up, so I've gone from direct selling to direct selling and then wholesaling out in that kind of direction. And indeed, if you've got a craft shop, or if you know of a local craft shop that you think would be interested in taking the world's best cross-stitch magazine, then point me in their direction, because we do wholesale and I'd love to get it out to lots of local stores as well. So that's been really rad. I'm excited to see what happens. It's going to be cool. Now, the other thing I've been doing lately is listening to audiobooks. I tend to listen to audiobooks a lot. I've got a dog, I take him for walks, I listen to audiobooks. I've got to do a mundane job like hoovering or envelope stuffing or anything where I don't have to like produce content with words in it, then I like to listen to audiobooks. And the one I've been listening to lately is by a lady called Jen Sincero, and it's called You Are Badass at Making Money. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm partly enjoying it because it's one of those kind of self-help motivational books, but she also likes dropping the F-bomb from time to time, and she's got a great attitude about it, and I think that's really, it's good fun, you know. Me, with everything I do, I take it seriously but not too seriously, and so it's been great to kind of like have a book that is in tune with my way of thinking. Also, really early on at the start, she makes some quote along the lines of, you know, God has bestowed these gifts upon you, whether it's your looks, your personality, or your affinity for needlecraft. And I was just like, what? That's totally, it's like the book is speaking to me, you know. But one of the things it talks about in the book is this mindset about how we can shape the universe and kind of like bend it to our will. That doesn't sound very good when I say it out loud, But it's a bit along the ideas of cosmic ordering, and it's a bit along the lines of the power of intention, the power of attraction, and all these sorts of things. And I do firmly believe in this stuff, you know. I know that at a subatomic level, we are all made of a singular force of energy that is all that life is, you know. If you look underneath our molecules and atoms, there we are. There's just this singularity of just waves and particles, and we're all made of the same stuff. The whole world is made of the same stuff. The universe is. It's universal life energy. Some people call it Reiki, some people call it God, some people call it the Tao, call it what you like, but it's that stuff. And our experiences shape our response to the universe around us. And I do genuinely believe that if you come from a position of strength of positive intention, you can bring positive things to sort of happen. I've had things happen to me that are fairly miraculous, I would say. To be honest, even just seeing like Flora, as the first scan we had with Flora, she was a 7-week scan, and she was the size of like an aniseed ball, but with a heartbeat of 140. And that's a miracle, you know, just a thing that has become my daughter, who is the most unbelievable person I know. That's a miracle. But I've had lots of things happen. I've had times where I've faced redundancy and ended up with a job that was better than before. The opportunity for the Kickstarter funding and the crowdfunding that enabled me to start the magazine, all of those things have been just astonishing. At the start of last year, I wrote down in a planner about becoming Mr. XStitch full-time, and I didn't wholeheartedly believe that it would happen, and yet within 6 months I was Mr. XStitch full-time. And for the same reason, I've put down this intention about I want 10,000 subscribers. I don't want 10,000 subscribers, I will have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and for the magazine by 2019, because those are things that I'm calling into being. I believe if we stand as like magnets of intention, and our intention's clean and pure and shines brightly from a good point of goodness, not a position where we want to screw people over, and if we're unwavering in what we think, then we can bring these things to us. And that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what Jen Sincero talks about in her book, you know. You can make money if you believe that you can make money, but you have to work towards it. You can't just sit around and wait for money to happen. I think it was Picasso who said, inspiration strikes, but it likes to find you working. And when you look at what Gary Vaynerchuk has to say, you know, you've got to crush it, you've got to put in the effort. But if you can have a singularity of intention, if you can say, this is what I believe, and you can transmit that energy and that enthusiasm out into the universe, it will come back to you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they say, I want a thing. And by saying they want a thing, the universe reinforces that want. It reinforces that lack of thing. And so I have to come from a position of going, these subscribers are mine, and then just wait for them to show up. And that's what I'm trying to do. It sounds far-fetched, but you've got to believe in your dreams. You know, you've got to believe that these things will happen. I want to achieve those goals so that I can provide the life for my family that I want, and that we can be secure. And I don't, you know, once upon a time I wanted to change the world. Once upon a time I wanted to have, you know, all these amazing, ridiculous things, and my tastes have kind of mellowed out over the years. You know, I'm happy to change the world of embroidery. I like to think I'm already doing a pretty good job of that. And, you know, I just want a nice house with a nice garden where I can grow some veg, and my children can grow up secure, and maybe I can get myself like a Mark 1 Ford Capri that I can do up on the weekends and stuff like that. I don't want like a yacht and a jet or any of that stuff anymore. And knowing these things, and also, you know, setting your bar at a realistic level. You know, we all think I need to be a millionaire, but a little while ago I read a Tony Robbins book called Money Master the Game, and within that there was a way of working out how much of a pot of money you might need to give yourself the lifestyle that you want. And it turns out that I need about 800 grand, which is still a lot of money, but isn't £1 million. So I don't have this mindset of going, oh, I need to be a millionaire. I know that I just need to raise like that amount of money, and then that will pay off my mortgage, and it will give me a couple of holidays a year and give me the standards that I want. Sometimes our goals are so lofty that they're almost unrealistic, but if we're able to have goals that are based sort of grounded in reality, then we've got an opportunity to achieve them, and then we can hold those goals. You know, I'm not saying I want 100 million subscribers. I want 10,000 subscribers. If I get 10,000 subscribers, things are going to be cooking with gas. And so I'm holding on to that, and I'm saying that is what's going to happen. And I am thanking the universe already for bringing that into being, and for bringing all of you watching this video into my life, and all of you that have subscribed to my magazine. I'm thanking you already for being here, because you're making my life amazing. And my life is amazing, you know, there's so much amazing stuff going on. I'm so thrilled to be able to be the kingpin of contemporary embroidery and to use my opportunity to share the world of needlework with you, so that hopefully you can try it and you can feel how good it is in your soul. And I'm grateful for all of the things that have happened as a consequence of that. So that's my intention now, that's what I'm going for. 10,000 subscribers, YouTube, magazine, power of intention. Let's just rock it. This is what's going to happen. I can't wait. So that's my little rant for now. That's my BossTube video. They're like the concurrent thoughts running through my head at the moment, you know. I've gotten over this hurdle of getting the magazine printed and shipped, and now I get this little period of settlement between now and gearing up for the next phase. We've got 3 months until issue 5 of the magazine comes out. Heroes and Villains. It's going to be pretty rad. So now I get an opportunity to kind of focus on the business and just process a lot of stuff and try and write a lot of stuff down. It's good to talk, it's good to share. I hope you liked what I've had to say, and thanks for getting this far into the video of a ranty madman middle-aged person. If you like the video, feel free to like the video. I welcome your comments. I love reading the comments that we get, particularly when I start talking about this kind of businessy stuff, because I think there are a lot of us out there that are doing this, and if we can all bounce ideas off one another, it can only help all of us really. So if you've got any thoughts or comments, that'd be fantastic. Feel free to get that book, Jen Sincero, Tony Robbins' book. I'll put the links in the show notes for those as well, because they're pretty interesting. And thanks! Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon for another video. In the meantime, happy stitching.